Hello and welcome to episode 42 of Let's Talk Tactics. I'm your host, Zach Bro.
Hey, I'm Dan Boone.
And I'm Luck.
This week we have actually a bunch more releases than I realized to talk about. I thought we were just going to mainly kind of dig into this golden anklet nonsense, but I guess we'll have some things afterwards as well, especially this raid item is pretty sweet. But yeah, we are going to start jumping right into the golden anklet. It's kind of been, or at least should be, and I think it has been a pretty big talk for the PvP community, just because having a passive 8% on an 8% agility for Keyblade teams is kind of nuts. So have you guys fallen victim to that yet, or is it just kind of like a theory thing at this point? Or
I haven't been playing too much Mash Battle anyway, so
fair?
Yeah, I've been really busy. I haven't. The few times I've matched up, I haven't seen any. So maybe people aren't really catching on to it. Even like when I brought it up in the server, the Discord server, people were like, "Huh?" So like, I don't know. Maybe it's slow to catch on.
I mean, I guess maybe the 8% isn't as good on everybody as maybe a flat 6 would be from the pod. But the problem is with that, the 8% doesn't get like halved or anything. Whatever bonus you get doesn't get halved. Like your 6 would if you have a 7 in your TMR slot. So I feel like it's got to be the optimal agility setup for anyone trying to stack agility. So if anything, I mean, you could use all three, right? You could have Pod or Hermes Sandals in one slot. You could have this in the other slot, and then your TMR being whatever, probably Bells if you're Stern, or I guess you could do the Lucia Boots if you're like Glaciella or something. But I think Stern, is fastest still, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
he would
so-
have to put the armor on third slot, right? Like the Keen Blade armor.
Does he? Oh, yeah, I guess he has to actually hold.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he doesn't get the 7. Okay, so that's okay. Maybe not as. Yeah, still though, 8% agility stacking with all the other percents can be quite a bit. Do you guys think it's going to be really impactful, or do you think it's going to kind of the 2-turn thing is too limiting, or?
I think it's going to be impactful whenever Cheese Blade is impactful. Like for the maps that'll support it. I don't think it'll take too long to catch on to the people that pay attention to it. But then again, you kind of have to be aware of like the lowest common denominator cheese bladers. Like I think rough estimate maybe half of them aren't on like the theory crafting side and are more on the like, hey, this is an easy win. I've heard how to do this, so I'm just going to use it and see what happens.
Fair.
So yeah, I don't know. Who knows how big of an impact it'll ultimately be.
I suppose that's fair. Locke, do you have any thoughts about it in terms of maybe other strategies that it might be good for, and or if you anything about Keenblade?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much. I actually like what drops this? Yeah, I'm actually looking. I was like, is this in JP?
No, this is it's the reward for the what's it called? The swordsman, like EX, right? Or not
okay.
EX, yeah, EX? Is it an EX?
Can you still farm this thing now, or is it gone?
No, yeah, it should be still active. Yeah, I think it ends Wednesday.
Oh, okay. It's right. It's that the stories that
yeah,
drop,
yeah,
right?
the Felric story thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget if it's a brutal or what it is. I honestly I haven't farmed it either. I will farm it by next Wednesday, but I haven't done it yet.
I don't, man, that's so weird, you guys. Like I make sure to have 4,400 medals daily for like the mog shop stuff. It's so weird to hear you guys like not farming it.
4,400 medals. What do you mean?
I buy the
gold
armor
and
pots and the
Gil,
LV pots and then the growth eggs and then the 2 snappers. And I've just been doing that for months and months. It's just my routine, So I try to make sure to have 4,400 every day, and then enough stockpiled to, have it for like the rest of the week or whatever. But I enjoyed the story for this event. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was decent. It definitely threw me off. There was like the no voice acting for a lot of the units, right? So I had my volume on. I was all ready, and it was just text. I was like, all right, I guess back to my not having the game muted. Yeah, the whole like farming every day sort of thing has not been a thing for me, just because I used to use what I call my workhorse phone, which was my old iPhone, but I just haven't been able to set it up at work. My work is super busy now since I changed jobs, so I really don't have the time to, go to my desk every now and then and set a farm, put my phone face down because the iPhone just crashes all the time. So because it's old and just I don't know, it's been really unstable. So yeah, I've had a tough time doing sort of passive farms, even for just like elemental crysts. I completely forgot on Wednesday that I need like probably 600 ice
Oh god,
crysts,
that
and
feeling.
so I'm kind of behind on a bunch of stuff. But I mean, that's my fault though. I could probably work harder to find time. I use my phone for so many other things throughout the day that it's tough now. But enough tiny violin for me, oh no, I can't find time to farm in a game. But
Yeah,
uh
same with me. I mean, there are a lot of things that I just like skipped over when I'm like, I don't think it'll be so impactful. Also, like I don't want to approach it like a job because then I know I will not really want to play at all. So I'm having okay. I'm still enjoying the game, but I feel like if I go to like, well, I need to get every little every little thing, then like the previous raid, it came with a vision card, and then we can get the shards from doing those quests. I didn't get a single shard because I'm like, it's what it is, and I'm like, okay, maybe like at some point I might want it at for whatever reason for some like uh cost limited CM or something. But I'm like, but I don't want to, again, I don't want that mentality that I need to get everything or else I'll like miss out, fear of missing out in the future. I don't, then I will just like get too burnt out with the game. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. So
there. I guess that's like kind of me with arena, right? Like I do everything else for the dailies and things, but just the arena I skip over sometimes. So, and Dan's over here like, man, guys, I do everything. What are you doing?
I it's not that I suffer from FOMO. I don't know. I want to
It's an
make sure
efficiency thing, right?
I want to make sure it's done, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like at the same time you mentioned like the tiny violin. Like I have like every vision card that I can like maxed out at this point, besides the ones that just came out, you know. And I'm sitting at like over 10,000 golden eggs and like 5,000 MR eggs or whatever. And so it's like, why am I still going through this routine of doing all the dailies every day?
I have
But
not done those in so long.
it's just a routine, you know.
routine, yeah.
But yeah, I was doing EXP chamber for a while just to get like the monthly reward and then whatever. And I was like, I don't need rainbow orbs or fragments anymore. Like it would take me so long to get through all my rainbow fragments that it's just not worth it. Like units, I can't pull units fast enough to use all the fragments we get.
It occurs to me
Very
that
strange.
I should be spending this time doing those routine things on getting back into my like 5 daily PvP matches. routine.
Probably, yeah. That's the thing too. Like if I was gonna sit down and like really play the game like actively and not just set up a farm, I'd probably just be doing free matches. Right?
Yeah, because I was at the top of my game like when the class matches first came out. Like the first class match was probably my best ranking, and ever since then it's been like kind of a downhill or a
Well, it's
coast.
hard to stay at the top, right?
Well, I mean, like I haven't kept like on my form, you know. So it's like it's appealing to think of getting back into shape, so to speak. But honestly, for months I've just been trying to enjoy the game with limited time or inclination to play it.
Yeah, I
So
think it's just that sort of like COVID not peeling back, sort of, shall I say peeling back, you know what I mean? Back a bit, like less out of the, I mean, obviously, cases spiking and stuff, and it's still a problem, but more of life is active than it was before. So, I mean, there's just more things we have to do now, like work
yeah.
busier and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, enough of that. Moving on to the new releases that, like I said, I actually didn't realize a couple of these things came out, like the Lamia Queen, level 99. Obviously I knew like Dario and Uni and stuff, but we'll start with you just mentioned the Raid VC from last time. I think that was the Kraken, and this time we have the Demon Chimera. So I think we should hand this over to the person in the guild, Chimera.
Oh God, you hit me with that. I wasn't expecting it. I don't know why I wasn't. But I was actually prepared for it, and of course, it did occur to me. That was the vibration from my phone clearing the last raid I did. Yeah, so Demon Chimera, I really like this Esper. It sucks that it's MR, but at the same time, like it may actually be helpful. As far as like cost 220 or total team cost 540, whatever. or whatever else they're moving into the future, like they're planning for us. With these cost 90 units, and like who knows what the costs will be like as we move, like a year from now or even further. Anyway, so like, yeah, so it's an MR Esper, but for an MR Esper, it's really nice. It's definitely like on the power curve or ahead of it. It gets like the full dark attack that you would expect from UR Esper. It gets like 15 slash attack. It's like the evasion rate is comparable to the Tetrasophid. Sophid. I
25,
mean, this
yeah.
is based functionally a UR Esper in terms of skill tree. It's just
It's
the
a UR
stats
board
are,
for sure.
yeah, the stats are like a little bit, falling behind. But yeah, it's amazing. I would expect, Venera to probably use this all the time. Like she doesn't have to use Tetra anymore. Or really any unit, any dark unit that's kind of like, I need more evade, Um,
A lot of them.
Ruin Knight Stern. I mean, like, yeah, like, yeah, this is kind of like a shoe in for, I don't know, like the second or the third Esper that you might use for a dark team. So, yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah, the 13 agility obviously leaves a little bit to be desired, and it's got some low attack and magic at like 68 and 65. It does, however, have 20% disable resist, which is a very solid resist to just have extra on your Esper that you might want to equip anyway on a evade unit. And like the weird synergy there, not weird, but convenient, is that disable is one of those status effects that makes it so you can't evade anymore, right? So synergizing in that way is pretty nice.
Yeah,
here.
they could have just as easily given like poison resistance or something
Right.
because of the the tail or whatever. But no, it was disabled. It's nice. And it's another weird thing is like the summon effect. Like it's kind of random. I wasn't really expecting the all elemental imperil. It's only 15%, but it's like the burst
Right.
radius, like Banana Zilby. And it's 100% hit, so you can always expect it to hit. So yeah, it's pretty nice.
Any thoughts from you on this Esper lot?
I thought it's probably like the best like evasion Esper all around, like generically, because like most of the evade characters are slash units, right? And like so for example, like I was building up UR Zazan, and I'm like, hey, I really want to put more evade on him, so I want to put Tetra, but then I'm like, but he doesn't benefit anything else from Tetra besides the evade.
Some AP
So
or something.
but now with this one, now he can put evade plus like at least 15 slash, right? So and again, since like most evade type units are slash anyway, I feel like this is a better fit overall for evade units. So yeah, like that was the first thing I thought of, and I'm like, yeah, I really want to pull this, and I'm like, oh, but you get it for free, so this is awesome. I like the VC itself. I'm like, whatever.
Right.
But the Esper, I thought it was very nice, and it's also like it's the same as Tetra as well for the disabled resist. She has 25, and then this one
okay.
has 20. So like anytime I wanted to use disable, especially the other times I wanted to use it was on like 2B, because I mean she gets a bunch of other resists already, but she didn't have disable, so I like that on her, and I think it's similar with other evade units too. I really want to get disable, so I would put Tetra for evade plus disable resist, and I get both of those with this plus something else, which I generally more useful. But yeah, the only negative is, as you mentioned, the agility is a bit lower, and the overall stats too. But I think that's fine. I think it's overall it's probably an upgrade for most like evade slashing units.
Yeah, the other nice thing is that it does have light resist, so Holy is one of the things that, or a lot of light spells in general, hit through evasion, and then I mean mainly Una, right, these days. And light killer, so if you want to do more damage to these Unas or walls or whatever else you're seeing in the meta there. But
yeah, the thing is with like the MR,
it's kind of small though,
like
actually.
the resist, it only nets you 5% because the natural 10%.
True.
Yeah, it sucks, but like
and the light killer is 1 + 2 + 3 + 4, so it's only 10.
Oh god,
So,
yeah, it's only 10.
Not so
like
great for that
small.
investment.
But
well, it's there. All right, moving on to the VC. Actually pretty decent HP, 296 for an MR. 108 attack, okay. 3 agility, that's pretty sweet. Maybe if you're supposed to have the VC with the Esper to make up, so it has UR like nicer agility values. but gives luck 15%, attack 8% for whatever dark unit equips it, and then the party ability is 10 evasion and 8 single target resist, which is a kind of a nice split for an MR Esper as well, or MR VC as well. Only dark units again, but the dark ability, like its crit rate 15 is the max. That's all right, and crits, the occasional crit is nice, and I've definitely had my share of moments where I'm like crit, and the game's over, and crit rate would be nice in that situation, but it's really hard, I feel like, in this game to really build around crit, especially with where this VC is probably being used. So I don't know, it's kind of a mostly dead party ability to me. Do you guys have any thoughts on that, or think I'm wrong about that?
Not necessarily for the crit rate. I think people, it's just kind of a pain in the ass to calculate like your chances to crit versus like their chances to evade a crit. So like it's nice when the crit shows up, and like sometimes you're banking on it. But it seems like how like what's the like hindsight bias or whatever. No, like when you're really looking for that crit and you don't get it, you're like,
Yeah.
oh. But it's weird. Like for months, I was like, I wonder when we're gonna get a dark vision card evasion up effect. And so, I mean, it's only 10. It's not 20 like you would get from a UR vision card, but it's interesting to have that option. Plus a little bit of single target resistance, a little bit more luck on whoever's equipping it. That kind of like a little bit of these bonuses if you're trying to work with like a limited cost kind of team. So. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's bad, and I'm not gonna say it's good, but like you might find a niche use for it.
It's an MR Vision card that you might occasionally want to use.
Yeah, and sometimes like you use them.
Lock you.
No, it's yeah, it just seems like a niche card that I don't even know if I'm gonna farm this one either. So we'll see.
I guess you said it earlier, right? You're like, I'm excited for the Esper, not so much the Vision
Exactly.
card. So that kind of summed it up, I guess. Moving on to the other Esper release, or Esper upgrade, sorry, which is the Lamia Queen. So funny, I've actually been leveling this up, like the resonance on a couple of my units that just have everything else they need really maxed, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe when it gets its fire attack upgrade, that'd be kind of cool for my fire units.
Yeah.
So Mish is 10 out of 10 with Lamia Queen now, just in case somehow that ends up being my third choice.
I've done the same thing.
It won't ever be. But it gets strike attack, so it didn't get fire attack. That's fine. I guess I could have looked at JP to find that out, but kind of cool that it, now we have an actual super like high strike bonus on an Esper, and Lamia Queen was kind of the first one people would actually use to do so, but I feel like I'm gonna be using other stuff first. Like I almost think I would end up using like Bahamut on a physical strike unit just for the high agility and the man-eater before I would use this Esper.
Dude, I'm so glad it gets charm resistance though.
That is nice.
That's really nice, especially it's Lamia Queen. Like I'm sure we've all shared the frustration of being like, oh, like that NBC Lamia just charmed me or confused me or whatever. So
you actually get to use Bewitching Tail with the cast effect. That's
cool.
I didn't realize that. I mean, it's not like it's a new Esper. Like I could have known this a while ago. I just never actually took a look at what its evocation was.
I just realized that's the second time tonight already. I just shouted into the mic.
Oh, it's fine. I'm loud on many occasions also. Yeah, so what's the Sun Pillow strike we get now? So it used to be 15.
40,
plus, is it that much? So 10, 6, that's crazy. I mean, that's actually fairly decent. Strike resist, meh. I feel like there will be a time where I use this to like really make some like cheesy, just try to get max damage on my Raldor or something, or some kind of strike unit. But I don't know. It's very middle of the road. 13 agility again, very low. Attack and magic are middling at 65, so it's really there if you're trying to maximize some kind of strike build.
And you're already using Odin Bahamut for like the man-eater, or even Golem, or Cactuar.
Like Ifrit's probably better for Raldor here for all the fire attack and the like higher base. I don't know. Yeah, it'd be a tough sell to even go here for a strike unit.
Because it's not just about the attack increases. It's like what resistances does it offer, and strike res 15%. I mean,
Don't try to sell that.
Yeah,
just be okay with saying that part
I tried.
isn't very useful.
I tried just to mention it.
It is there for sure. I guess also Undead Killer for when the PvE comes around, but now we're really stretching. I really do hate this though, where it's like they put like we just saw the light resist on the Chimera, like there's water resist on a fire rest. We're like, stop giving us that. Like, give us a niche way. Like, give some wind resist or something random that we could maybe find value out of in a certain build.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's
really
cool.
dumb, yeah.
It's cool to offset the natural like elemental weakness, but yeah, it's not really
Yeah.
giving you that big of a bonus.
Yeah.
It's really just not great. So yeah, +5 water now. Woo. I mean, I guess it doesn't contribute as much. I don't know. Yeah, I can't really justify. Also, why couldn't they just make Bewitching Tail like 100% hit here? It's not even. It doesn't even have that. It's got Ice Killer 25 though. That's pretty cool. That's the other thing about this as well. Like if you want to go, you get a fair attack percent buff if you take all 3 nodes, and then you can go into Ice Killer for specific content as well. But yeah, I mean, it's an MR Esper with that's not Chimera, who is punching above their weight class. I assume there's no other thoughts besides the couple mentions we've had so far. All right. Let's hop in. Let's finish up all the non-unit things first. So let's go right into, well, that we already did that. Starlit Tryst. So I'm excited. It's an ice card. We talked, I think last time and the time before, how I'm going to kind of skew on the side of ice now and then do some like limited things that I want and try to just avoid other, non-limited releases. Anyway, 320 HP, 142 attack, 43 dex, 20 luck. I like that stat block. And dex and luck from a VC is always cool. Like, giving you that accuracy for evade units, it's just helpful. And there's also accuracy on equip for Velric. What is it, 15? Yeah, 15? Yes, that's math. And the other Velric specific bonus is also 15% attack. Any ice unit that puts it on will get 15 luck. Man, these numbers are so weird. It's broken down by 8, 4, and 3, and my brain's like trying to do this quick math. Like it's the same across the board, but the really sweet parts is this /35 that it gives for the party of ice units. And the Spirit 8 is also nice, but that slash stacking with Freeze S with a 35 ice attack. Then you put Fenrir on for 50% attack. Like, it is this trifecta. It's all like the biggest damage bonuses you can have for units like Gilgamesh, Oron, now Velric. I mean, even Fryevia gets to benefit from 2 out of 3 of those. She doesn't get the attack percent so much on her Spellblade abilities, but it is a massive bonus. Then I get just like on cherry on top. It's Piercer's just 20 for the max buff. Overall, very good card. I haven't finished pulling it yet. I have a little bit more free viz to farm from story, so I can finish the step up. And then I've been doing like the guild pulls and stuff to try to get those every day, but minimize my viz expenditure. But I'm actually going to end up doing, if I don't pull it by the 4th step, I'm going to, since I would do the 5th step anyway, I'm going to do the paid banner to get it so that when I do the 5th step on the step up, I get the 50 shards, which I thought that was kind of efficient if I need to do that, or if I have the option to do that. Did either of you guys pull for this? Nope. And then Lockett or Daniel did.
Yeah, it was really easy to just hit that paid 2K button. I obviously I put enough thought into it. I was like, well, I want to save this 2K stash for the upcoming months. But yeah, it was worth it. Like I don't like falling behind on vision cards or units. It doesn't feel very good after having invested so much. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you don't get into that fallacy of like, the pot is too deep. So I have to keep going. But no, I mean, like this is a good vision card, and I was actually curious between this and Lastwell's Ice vision card coming out eventually with the 15 agility and the 25 acquired AP up. I was wondering, which one you would choose or not.
So I think that one you're talking about is 313 HP, 152 attack, 4 defense, bestowed 30% attack for an ice unit, agility nice. 15%.
Yeah, plus
for
the
ice units.
killer.
Yeah, and then you get 25 human killer on the max. And I think that 25 human killer makes it kind of a no-brainer for me to put this on over Tryst. In addition to Fenrir and Freezes. Maybe my opinion will change in the future and I'll end up replacing like Fenrir or something. Depending on, I guess, if my team's more hybridized, I can take off Fenrir for the attack. Like if I want, again, like Fryavi or something. And then in that case, the only 2 units it doesn't benefit against are the 2 near units. One of which I don't care because she's wind and she's going to get wrecked by my mono ice team anyway. Presumably I'm using Oron, who has sure hit, and we'll just blast her off the map. And then 9S would, be a problem, but I still have all those other bonuses and I have agility and all that. The acquired AP is sneaky good. Like having just a casual 25% extra AP on everything for all of you, I've gotten more and more appreciation as I've played this game for the acquired AP ups. I rarely want to like sacrifice a passive to use it. But if I can have it on a vision card or something, or an ability or whatever else, I'll hedge that direction.
Yeah, I found myself using the Fleeting Banquet card, the dark one, like the 50% up. Yeah, I found myself using that over some other vision cards I had the choice to use, just because, it's got great stats, and can't really underestimate that AP up, man. And I mean, that's kind of what I was expecting, because I would say probably the least appealing aspect of the Starlit Tryst, like this vision card we're talking about, is the Pierce Resistance 20. That's definitely more niche than who doesn't want human killer on physical attack,
right? Oh, it's on physical attack. Okay, so what I said about Fryavi is not necessarily true. Oh shit. Well, actually, I don't know if that changes it, because that helps with Oron strike sub if they're really slash resist, or it helps on. I guess Gilgamesh doesn't really have. Is Velric all slash as well? Yeah, right.
No,
Comet's not elemental.
Velric is just like Oron. He's got the pugilist.
Oh, right. So they're both strike. So it would help with him as well then.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. I don't know. I definitely think I probably have to just go for the agility 15. Like that's one of the biggest selling points, and the rest of it's just good to have. But I do like Tryst in general. Like, so I think having the 4 on rotation, like sort of mixing and matching based on what I expect for the meta. Like maybe I just don't need. I feel like I don't need the magic resist from Fenrir and the attack percent I can give up. And then that's not to mention Odin also. Let's be fair. I forgot about that one with the 25 accuracy, also depending on the meta. Probably actually in the number 4 or the number 5 slot for me, priority wise, but it just sounds so ridiculous to say out loud.
Yeah, no, I didn't forget about it. I just didn't bother mentioning it because of these other higher priorities.
Oh, good, yeah.
I mean, one quick mention while we're talking about
embarrassment of riches, right?
Yeah, while we were talking about Velric, Velric. God, I keep saying Velric. He's kind of low key, unexpectedly good, especially with his healing. There's been like murmurs about how awesome his heals have been on the PvP server. So if you guys have the chance to check him out, I would give him a shot, especially if you're down for the striking meta.
So yeah, right, striking meta. So I was sent a screenshot or set of screenshots on a private message. He's better than in JP.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he got a stealth buff.
Yeah, so in JP, his Drain Assault only goes up to, I believe it's 60% of the damage dealt. In Global, as usual, we're spoon-fed, and he now absorbs 100% of the damage done. I saw a screenshot. I think someone absorbed for 57k.
Yeah.
What?
I'm gonna spit my water out again.
It was what the fuck? Like, I guess the only way you can do that it's damage cap 3 times. So obviously you had a crazy chain going. Damage cap is what?
It was with Steel Time. It was on the raid boss.
Right.
It's on the current raid boss. So they also brought a Steel Time unit, and they did it manually. So it was like 10th hit or something like that. Yeah.
But even with that many hits, how do you get to 57? Oh, because you have 4 units in the raid, so you can put another damage cap breaker, right? Like the two-headed dragon or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that puts your cap up to what? So it's is it $12.99 Sounds like a price.
12.
12,999 for
So it's
base.
11,999
11,999.
for level 99 units, right? Oh no,
Yep.
it's
For level 120.
12.4. It's 12.5 basically, and you get a 2K above that would be 14.5.
Well, it's 2.5 from the VC, right?
Yeah.
So you can essentially hit 15K, right?
14.5 because you only get
14.5.
a 2K increase, I believe, from the 120.
Okay, so okay, 14.5 times 3
Yeah.
is not yet 57. So
Yeah.
is it? Oh, he has a healing power buff
Yeah.
in his passives. Okay, that's
So
where it's
it's
coming from.
times 20%, like 20%
1.2.
extra, 120%.
1.2,
Yeah.
All right, this might pull up on this thing. Yep, it always pulls up on the overlock's face whenever I open my calculators. Boom. All right, so yeah, it'd be like what 40. I was gonna say 45K times 1.2. That's still 54. I swear I saw 57 in the screwshot. I don't know.
It was
Whatever.
50 something. I don't know what exactly what it was.
Anything
but it was
over 50
something.
is just.
It was a lot. Maybe it was 53 and like 9, whatever. Anyway, it's a lot of fucking healing and it's crazy. And I love that he is that good. And I hate that I haven't been able to build him faster because I want to actually get using him. Now, again, it is kind of sad that he is so much like Oron, like literally the same 2 sub jobs in this. Like it feels weird, but oh, actually, I sent the picture to you guys. I don't think I mentioned it on the cast though. I did find that I had enough recipes and materials to make a second ice greatsword, so I am like to the moon happy that I can actually use Oron and Velric side by side as like the ice greatsword bros. But yeah, so Starlit Tryst, very good card. Like I said, it'll probably be on a rotation where it may come in or it may come out, depending on what I expect the meta to be. Obviously, it's gonna be a little bit better against evade sort of teams, but I mean the last whole card's really good too, so it's gonna be tough. Or I mean, even if like Fenrir comes out. Any other thoughts from you guys on this card? You guys aren't as like, yeah, ice as I am, so it's not as like mandatory, but. All right, so there's a couple interesting EXs this week. So let's go up the rarity with Uni. Before I even say what the upgrades are, anybody building it? Anybody? No one? All right. So Uni is a unit that has gotten very little amounts of love. I feel like in the beginning of the game, a lot of people, and myself included, were like, oh, this is a really cool combination of jobs. This unit seems really interesting. And then I've never seen... The only time I've ever fought against a Uni was somebody bringing a level 1 in because they were just trying to get their matches done for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the only time
right.
I've never seen an actual, like, a Uni actually played. But the upgrades are kind of cool. So, 1, it does upgrade the Ranger lore to range 2 from range 1, which is just very good. And this is a unit where the passives, unless you're doing a really janky build, are pretty locked in place, I think. You're doing the Ranger lore for sure. Probably not doing the magic up. Probably doing the focus. Especially, I mean, just the missile attack, you need it as a lower rarity unit. And if you get hit by anything, you're probably dead. So Providence of Fire isn't going to really help you there. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure a Fire Mage would probably still kill through. I would think. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not respecting enough. But the other upgrades are Mega Charge turning into Punishing Slow Arrow, which is still a 220 mod, which is sizable. But it also decreases move, so it kind of gets you that sniper feel. But like, play Winter Victora, I think. I don't know. It's really just not amazing. It's a very good. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a great debuff. Like move -1, really annoying. But that being the only major change in all of the main job abilities, is kind of rough. However, the super interesting one is the job 25 skill. So arrow fall, which I want to see the animation on this because it sounds like it's pretty badass. And it has a massive range. Like, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the center.
Base 6.
Then, yeah, base 6 with a Cosmo Plume sized AoE. AoE height of 1, range height 4, and the 2 from the passive. So yeah, range 8. Not to mention if you have some kind of buff from like another sniper on the team or another or gunner, whatever buffs you may have. 76 mod. Okay, not a lot of damage. Fair. But nullifies haste and quicken, dispels haste, and immune to CT changes for targets. Now, this doesn't have for 3 turns or something on it. So do you guys know how this ability works?
I have heard that it just shuts off for the rest of the map. I can't substantiate that. It's just what I've heard from people from the JP side of things. And it's actually a question that I had for you guys, so I'm glad that you asked it. Because like it seems to me that it should be for 3 turns, right? And
Normally.
actually, I didn't even remember that until you actually just asked the question. I was like, oh yeah, somebody mentioned something about it for like the rest of the map or the match, and that just seems like why?
What?
It's a
It's not
very out of
consistent.
place. Like, why is Uni the one that's shutting down all these things? Like, if there was an ability to force me to play a unit that I would have never played otherwise, this is an ability that would
it's-
do it.
It's such a shame that like they don't have lower rarity blossoms. Otherwise, this would be like an easy range choice for
Mhm.
what is it? R rarity. He's not
SR,
SR, right?
SR.
It is SR.
Oh, is he SR? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's. I think he's a good ranged SR unit. Maybe not as good as Layart as a R unit, but it's still
Can't all be loved.
Yeah, he's got good enough abilities to like pull it off on like a limited team or whatever. It's just not worth the 6 blossoms that you would need for like URs or even MRs.
Yeah, it's a really, really interesting ability and effect to exist. I wonder if we're gonna see something like this in the future on a like just a new job, or maybe like a smaller AoE but someone else's EX upgrade also. I'm looking at this range, it's just so gigantic. I think it's like is it the largest range of any ability, like just on its own?
I think so, yeah.
Like overall, like it's so insane. Actually, yeah, you were saying range 8. I don't know if you meant because of the pass or because of the AoE, but it's actually range 10 with both, right? So,
Yeah.
It's 8,
No,
it's
like
like
yeah,
a
the
space.
it's
And then-
nuts.
center is
And then you can move 3, so that's 13, right?
It's a threat range of 13. And like
yeah, and then give him aim fire. Let's like the entire map basically.
if they're in affinity range, you're hitting all 3 also. Like I don't actually that's an interesting thought. Okay. Can you distribute 3 units in a way while maintaining affinity, at least like with, at least you can daisy chain, and not all 3 have to be with each other, but like this one with this one, and then this one with this one. Can you arrange them in a way that doesn't get hit by this AoE? All 3 units. I don't think you can, right?
It would have to be height variations.
Right. Because what doesn't matter how you do it, like this covers 2 from that center spot, so you can always. That's crazy. So you can always hit their team if they're in affinity range. Whew. No CT. Can you imagine? Not that you're. I mean, okay, if you're against a cheeseplate team, they're faster than near Uni, so I guess it doesn't even matter. But imagine if they're going for like a turn 2 and you nail them with this on turn 1. Just like, nope, turn off your old Dura and your Keen Blade.
Double quick in Uni.
Double quick in Uni it. No, yeah, it's crazy ability. I do want to see the animation though. I think just the name Arrowfall makes me hopeful that the animation's really badass.
No, it's just gonna be a barrage.
Right? Shut up, man. I'm trying to have some fun. He has barrage. Maybe it's better. Maybe it's like this. It's like the first barrage, haste and nullify, or nullify haste. Second barrage, nullify quicken. Third barrage, right? Just over and over. No, okay. Yeah, so I think from the general what you just said, Danny, you said you're not going to be EXing him, but you wish you could justify the resources going to that.
It would be
Specifically,
nice.
I assume for this ability.
Yeah, especially because we have to assume there's going to be future events where there's going to be MR or less. Like how there's like that limited guild battle or whatever. We know that it's part of their toolkit or whatever for development. So I think it would be really nice in terms of like a water team or like a range team to be able to use him. And it's just it's not a thing right now.
Especially as we always say, if you're trying to make a weak unit powerful, give it like haste and quicken, and it makes it a lot better. So if Uni can sort of shut that off on the other side and make them play like fair, like quote unquote fair, pretty good.
It's just I'm sorry, it's just interesting that like you have to hit the targets to turn off the CT changes.
True.
So it's not just like you start with it at the beginning of the match, just hit nothing, and turn it off
Yeah.
for everyone. So
True.
there's that element of strategy to it too.
You actually did just remind me. I was gonna say this earlier, completely forgot. Started talking about whatever other tangent, but War of the Visions Calc has been pretty good recently about making sure to explicitly order things such that things that are applied regardless of being hit are above the damage. Making sure things with turns say turns, and things that don't, like ones that say what is it, increased bravery, some of those don't wear off, so like it specifies and splits it up to not say 3 turns, which is why I'm trusting that this is correct, because 3 different lines, none of them saying anything about 3 turns, and then you've also heard, at least I know, maybe not confirm, but that's how it works in JP. I would be fairly confident in saying that it's just literally for the rest of it, which is nuts. But
And
sorry.
he'd need to be able to hit, like his,
Yeah.
if it doesn't hit, it's not going to apply the null.
That's why you have double quicken. You get 3 chances. Locke.
Sorry, Locke. We're trying to
Yeah,
go to
my
you,
bad,
man.
It's okay. I don't think I'm gonna invest in it right now, but I think it is very interesting. And part of the reason that I'm not investing is I'm assuming we're probably gonna get somebody else with this ability sooner or later. And I think, just because the agility is so low, and also like, evasion is getting back to be up there. So what's the point of bringing him if he's not going to be able to hit something because he doesn't have enough accuracy, so I think, it's a good ability, but it's just because of the MR stats being lower, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to use it.
36 base agility isn't enough for you. Sorry, 32 base and then 4 from board.
It's like 42.
42? Oh, is my math? Am I bad at math? Okay. Oh, that's 40. Sorry, 40, 46.
It's still 42 base.
Yeah, 42 base. Yeah. 46 with the bonus. Yeah.
He's got the 2 jump. That's what it's 3 and 2. Yeah,
sure does. Oh, Misha's slower. Oh God, Misha's a 44. Oh, don't show me the truth.
So yeah, that's what I feel. But yeah, the ability is really, really interesting. I just I would like to play like a team where it's like, oh, I get to shut off your quicken, but I'm still using quicken. But then I'm like, if I have 1 quickener and Uni, then I will only have single quicken. I won't be able to, like I can't do that. So
you're saying Uni should have had sub time mage.
Yeah. Then it would be more interesting.
Instead of black mage, yeah. Black mage with like the sub 100 magic or something. It's just like, what are you gonna do with that? I remember thinking, like, my starry-eyed young War of the Vision self was just like, oh my god, this unit, I'm gonna make him good. I'm gonna give him all the magic stuff and make it do magic. No, it's not gonna happen with Uni. I'm sorry. It's just
they're treating the R rarity units better than the SR rarity units.
They're lower rarity, man. They need it more.
It just makes me mad.
Yeah. Moving on to Dario. I have no idea what he does.
Dario, you asshole.
Fucking useless, dying in the story. No, I was kidding. Alright, let me see. I don't know anything about what he does. So jumping into this for the first time here. Not like overall, I mean with the EX upgrades. The first thing I'm noticing is I'm only seeing 1 upgrade.
Oh, it's in his sub job.
Oh,
really weird.
wow. How are you gonna do? Oh man, that's all right. Well, okay. In the main job, Aeroga Blade is now Aeroga Blade bracket life end bracket. Takes off haste now. Pretty cool. So just and dispels all buffs. So I mean that's just a nice thing to tag onto as sort of like main damaging skill. And then Draining Seal is an interesting one. We've seen this. First of all, it's range 4, which is crazy for a Spellblade. It's a really nice thing to have that's not, the sub job for Taunting Spell. Draining Seal, reduce counter chance by 100 before the hit for 3 turns for target. So shuts off things like Reflex or other, like, any sort of damage reduction. All of them. I guess I don't know. I'm giving examples. All reactions are just done. And then absorb HP. It says 86%. So
it's like small modifier or minimum.
It's a very small mod. But 3 uses, 20 AP cost.
It's only
decent.
20 AP is crazy, right?
Yeah, and also it's dealing magic damage, and like it's actually a magic attack as well. So it's kind of cool, like diversify there. Again, if you come up against like some high slash resist or something. And I guess the other upgrade is in the spellblade. So taunting spell gets upgraded. It has a chance, so more damage is always nice, and then it has a chance to immobilize, which I guess that's definitely an underutilized status. But why here? It's a very strange combination. Do you guys have any input on that? We'll go with Locke this time. Start with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there are a couple of other units, like I think it was Rob who has
Mhm.
one of his upgrades on his sub instead of his main, but it's just dumb because like you get so many fewer skills on your sub, so you typically want to use a different sub anyway, and then it's just like the upgrade is not really utilized properly. I don't know why they do that, but overall, I don't know. It doesn't really like it's nice, like especially that reaction, that skill that removes reaction. There's only one other Charlotte who can do that, so it's definitely like something new, and probably people want to use it. But again, I feel like as we go on, more and more units will get that, and it's nice, it's new, but it's not enough for me anyway to invest. Yeah.
His ninja and paladin sub jobs are really nice.
Yeah, they are.
And like you would use Spellblade on, I don't know, arena or PvE content to force the upgrade on his main sub job. Ah man, I mean it's cool. It's like a cool like it's cool thematically, but I mean I don't know if you guys remember like the Dario bomb where like you have your mage cast like a high damaging area of effect spell on Dario. Dario's poison mist into the enemy team, and he has this high magic res or whatever, and so he doesn't really get hurt, but he blows up those around him. You can't do that with if you're on Spellblade sub. Obviously, Paladin sub like Saintly Wall, Sentinel. He doesn't get Immortal Spirit. He doesn't get that courage, but it'll help him survive like physical attacks when he's kind of more of like a Spellblade, magic resist kind of guy, magic tank. Um, yeah, it's just it sucks, but I don't know. Maybe people run him on Spellblade more often.
Spellblade sub job is specifically one of the ones I have always questioned the most, I think. Giving sort of two of the most important skills in the Spellblade job in Taunting Spell, which is their way to gain hate without having to have Paladin sub, and also the resist magic, which is what they do. They resist magic, so you kind of want that as like your normal thing. But they get like fucking Bio Blade, Silence Blade, Chicken Blade, like all these random attacks that like they're not using that often because it doesn't do enough damage. The chances aren't like, sometimes you just can't hit. If you don't hit the status effect, they're pretty bad. Why resist magic and taunting spell aren't the main job, and like literally all three, Bio, Chicken, and Silence are the sub if you want to be that Spellblade. I don't know. I understand that would make it way stronger, but that's kind of the point. Like you want the job to do its job. Like not wasn't even trying to make a joke there, but like that's I don't understand why those are not in the main job. And then he would have that upgrade in the main job, and he'd be happier, I think. But it's a frustrating one. Like Freyevia is one of the biggest ones I feel it with because I want her on White Mage because Full Life is great and heals are great and Asuna is great. But then I don't get my resist magic or my taunting spell on my magic tank who buffs the team and stuff. Like it's
suddenly a
so
bruiser.
frustrating. Yeah, so frustrating. But
yeah, I've always I don't
Dario
know.
Bomb, I forgot about that.
Dario Bomb. One of the notable things about his X upgrade is his magic stat basically doubles. It goes from like it's just under 200 to like just over 400. So that's really interesting. Having like that 400 stat is pretty interesting right now.
401, wow, yeah.
For an MR at least, and I don't know, like I've never really been super impressed with Dario, and I think it's because he's supposed to be such a badass in the story, and he just isn't well represented in my opinion as an MR. So I guess I'm waiting for his UR version to come out whenever that happens. If it's gonna happen, like he's dead in the story.
But
allegedly.
he dead though. Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to come back. Like I wasn't really dead.
I'm back from my baby.
But
super spoilers. But I figure if you're not at that point yet, you know.
Dude, what was that? Chapter 2 or something?
It wasn't that long ago, was it? It was definitely later.
Yeah, it was much later.
But yeah, no, at 401, I did not realize he had 14 defense built into his kit either, because I know he sort of is touted as, you know, the super, like, can hit 100% resistance sort of magic resisty boy, but, like, dies to physical damage. But he has 14 defense and access to Paladin sub with Saintly Wall and, like, Sentinel and things. Actually, not awful. Yeah. You don't have to try that hard to make him tank both, so that's pretty cool. See his other stats, nothing crazy notable. Just kind of just middle of the road on the rest, which is what you expect from an MR that's not super specialized.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what his HP totals end up looking like.
4277 is what it's showing here.
Especially on like a win team where you get the mastery win buffs to HP and like wind attack and if you're using like win VCs. I can't remember if there's like a HP.
I think there is actually. I found it randomly. Let me look at that. But while I'm doing that on the index, so the index takes into account board things. I wish we could have a filter where it's base only and then all combined. But all combined, he's number 9 actually for HP at 4277. Durando is number 8. Wow. Okay.
The hell?
Yeah, Durando probably has 4.5k. Jesus. Yeah, he's got 4.277, which is pretty big. So party effect, wind. I swear I saw one recently that was HP. Oh, is it this? I think it's this one. Yep. Okay. Mobius of Despair and Truth. So
fuck, that's what
the magic card with the missile resist has the party HP.
I always like forget, and that's why it's because it's the Mobius VC.
That was one so long ago. I was like, I'm gonna regret not getting this because it was like before we had the what's it called Deceit, Mask of Deceit for the missile resist. I was like, I need this for missile resist, and I'm playing all like I have a mage account, blah blah blah, and that was back when I didn't build physical damage units. So, good times, sort of. One of those VCs that like it'd be cool to have access to, but yeah, it's not happening. Yeah. Any other thoughts on Dario? Besides just being thoroughly disappointed in the design of the Spellblade job and sub job splits. Don't think so. All right. Moving on to a piece of equipment from the raid, which the last like main release for the week. Who ironically would be very good on Dario. It gives there's a vital shield and barrier version. The version that kind of maximizes its specialty appears to be the barrier with 20 spirits. So it's kind of like the equivalent to the platinum armor. And then it has up to 10% magic resistance, which is far better than platinum armor, and it's strike resist. 601 HP also on the barrier, not too bad. 859 on vital. I guess if you want to make like a drain force build with that magic resist as well. Yeah, good piece of armor. Yes, I mean I'm a pretty big fan. It's kind of our optimal heavy armor wearing anti-magic piece, right? I don't think there's anything better or anything even really comparable, right?
Armor blade.
I mean, I feel like Titus's necklace is similar. I mean, it gives you 10% magic resist and 16 spirit, so it's just 4 spirit less.
Okay, yeah. That's fair.
And then, I mean, but like the HP is a lot higher on this. The HP there is about 300. But I mean, like, so I already have my 63 recipes, and I have enough to build it, but I haven't yet. I probably will sometime. But I mean, like, if somebody doesn't really want to and they already have the Titus's necklace, it's not that big of an upgrade, I feel.
That's fair.
Yeah, comes on the TMR you're using, I think.
Yeah,
Sorry?
I guess it's. What's that?
It comes on the what?
Comes on to the TMR you're using, I think. If you want to use like an armor TMR, you use Titus and necklace, and bells or whatever you use, knight armor.
Yeah, that's fair. And like if you have for some reason a team that uses lots of heavy armor people and you're also wanting anti-magic, I guess you have like armor of light, assuming you only make 1 to 2 of each thing, even if it's just one, Titus necklace, the knight armor, and then I guess it'd be the armor of light you said, right? Because it has the 8% and then like 12 spirit?
I think 15
or 12, yeah, I forget which way it goes. Yeah, because I think 12/7 I think is like the physical armor version, and then it's like 3 or 4, and then 15 for the barrier. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've looked at those
Yes.
stats. Oh, I used to be so good at this. But no, I mean, I think this is really good, and I there's not a whole lot to say about it specifically. I mean, it's just build the barrier one, right? Like, unless you want vital. Would you ever consider doing the shield?
No.
Nope, easy. Daniel shaking
But
your
I only
head.
build one of each, so I always go for the one that I'll probably use most, which is barrier. But
Oh
I
wait,
can
you
see some
can't build
people
two,
want
right?
like the next time it comes around.
Not yet. Yeah.
Sure, next time.
But I mean, yeah, I can see some people wanting to build a second, like a vital version, if they just want to maximize HP.
That's
But
fair.
this is really nice for soldiers who get one shot by holy, like Stern, in my opinion. Magic res plus spirit. You know, unless you're going for the cheese blade, you know, you're stacking agility with these accessories. Yeah, this has been a long time coming, honestly. And you know, Armor of Light has, you know, really done its job for what it's designed to do, and this is just kind of taking that to the next level.
Yeah, and the I do enjoy too when the negative stat they give you is largely irrelevant for the unit who wants to wear that piece of gear anyway, which is this negative evade. Yeah, you're not using this if you're trying to evade, especially with a heavy armor user who can't wear a sage's hat. Like, you're gonna use like a ribbon or something, which I guess would conflict with this, but then you need your weapon most likely, and then there's no place to put this anyway. So I don't know. It lines up well for what it's trying to do, I think.
You know what I'm actually looking forward to is like a piece of equipment that's like wearable by anybody, but it starts with like -10 agility or something. because
What?
because I can use that on raids for like a level
Oh, yeah.
1 unit and not have it take as many turns. So I'm like waiting for something like that to come.
Like, just to hold the VC. First of all, you have level 1 units.
Yeah, like Moraga.
That's the
He's
first
level 3
problem.
now.
Oh
Bro,
god, he's level
hit level, at least hit level 40. Get the 50 viz
No,
out
no,
of it.
I've been waiting because I was like, oh, this raid's coming out. It's a bonus unit. So I left him at level 1, and then I had to get him to level 3 to give him a second, like to give him a buff. Otherwise, he just like runs forward and he doesn't attack and he saves 20 CT. And I need him to like do something, so I had to raise him to level 3.
I mean, congrats on getting your unit.
I mean, that's like Brian, a friend we've had in the cast before, where he had Zazan in a raid, and he put on like he didn't play in the early game where he learned about like SRVCs and stuff. So he's just like, hey, how can I reduce the agility? And we had like an unupgraded golden armor. We had like one of the VCs. It's like -5 flat agility. Had like 19 agility or something after all said and done, if even, and just never took a turn on auto. It was hilarious. He just held a VC. Yeah. But any specific sort of units you think that will get a lot better at handling magic damage, besides obviously just everybody, because it's the best option now? But anything really specific you're thinking with this application wise, or is it just kind of, hey, if you're a heavy armor user, you need to be anti-magic, wear this?
It looks the best.
It does look really nice.
My
actually.
favorite graphic for armor.
It's pretty nice, not gonna lie. Man, imagine if
Shiny
they
as
actually put the
fuck.
armor on, or like the pieces of gear onto your units. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I feel like, like because Black Rose Holland is just like everywhere and she just does her job so well. Like I think like people are going to be going towards this and other like anti-magic stuff in general. And it's nice that it gives both, because if it just gave like say a flat 30% magic resistance or something, everyone will just switch over to Garvel's TMR or something, some other way to penetrate defense. So it just gives both.
Or
Sorry,
sort of
penetrate
choose
magic
which thing
resist.
to do each attack, and maybe you live through. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good.
It is funny how, Danny, you mentioned this a couple casts ago. Like, it used to be all about that stacking the one resist, and now you have to really think about both ends of it, which I enjoy because it's not as easy to like anti and null something, and then the matchups are super one-sided. But obviously it's frustrating being on the end where you have to build for both as well. So I think it's good for the game, though.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Any other thoughts for the releases this week? We had a really long podcast last week, and I apologize for everybody who listens to the audio versions. the file is far too large to fit on the hosting website I use. So I need to take time to find a good spot where it is logical and reasonable to split it in half and put it up in 2 parts. It may come up after this one. We'll see. I'll probably do it while I'm editing or exporting this one, but that will be up. I'm sorry, it's not yet. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry. Any thoughts on the releases for this week? Locke, additional.
No, that's it. Yeah, I've just been doing the raid itself. Has been quite a breeze with the Dwayne Black Rose Helena combo. I guess they'll just beat the game now. If you have both of them, 120.
I finally hit 99 with my Black Rose Helena. Yeah.
They're nice.
They're nice. Oh man, every cast now that comes up some kind of reference. It's either very nice or manage your expectations. One of those two will come up every podcast from Daniel.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, just looking forward to the 1.5 anniversary and stuff that comes with it.
Cool.
So trying to save Vizier and not pull units or vision cards. That's really why I haven't really pulled anything. Yeah.
Daniel, you always have final thoughts, and also if you'd like to describe last podcast your shield got called, or your
oh yeah, that's my shield.
Not father-in-law yet, right? But sort
Right,
of
not
that
yet.
relation. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, he said yet. He said yet. No, he had a shield in the background, or you put his shield in the background. Not even a new one.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I mean, I talked about it last week. That's my shield. I use it. I'm a LARPer. I teach people how to fight and get better and stuff if they want to learn. Yeah, it's my in-game heraldry. And actually, this event that's happening next weekend, so I probably won't be around, is like a huge like summer festival thing. Like I'm in charge of organizing and running this huge tournament of arms. And so I've been trying to step up my my garb game. We've been making a lot of clothes for me to wear out there. So yeah, this time of the month is it's all about like, I don't know, the heraldry. It's pretty cool. But final thoughts. I just want to mention. I know I did like last week. I think that next class match is coming up soon already. We might see that next Wednesday. It's the 3rd week of August next Wednesday. So if it's not the 18th, then I mean it would have to be the 25th, right? And generally we don't see it like the last week of the month. So if you haven't had the chance to check out your class match teams, either try to find a match with people. I hear people are still struggling to find free matches at whatever time of the day, or jump in the PvP Discord and look for an opponent. We still do that, and it still works. But yeah, it's just a matter of days before I think it's going to be dropping. So yeah, hope you get some good practice in.
Yeah, dude, it feels like these come up so fast now. Like we used to like wait so long. It felt like, I mean, a couple of them there was a longer window, but it's so consistent now that I feel like it always sneaks up on me.
Yeah, same with me.
I never feel ready.
That's what I was talking about. Like when I was talking about like not being on my at the top of my game anymore. Like I don't match as often as I used to, and I wish I did. But yeah, things are different now. You just gotta adapt.
Absolutely. At least you have the fundamentals, right? Like you can, once you get your sort of momentum going those first like day or two, like really figure out the team, then you can go from there. Or you just change your team every day, like we sometimes do. So until like the last 3 days, this is what I should use the whole time. How did I not know?
Honestly, I'm just proud of the 3 of us ranking as high as we do when we just treat our practice like such shit. We just like jump into it and like still manage to somehow get like top 100 or something, or like maybe top 200 or whatever. But
everyone else is trash.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you guys remember like when it first came out, or when it was about to come out? We were all about like, yeah, we're gonna make it to like top 3 or top 1 or whatever. like we had such high expectations for ourselves, and like it was the next, or it was the greatest thing since the start of the game or whatever. And now it's just like, fuck it, I'll figure out a team during the first couple days until something clicks and just like coast the rest of the way. I think I forgot to mention. I think this is going to be the last class match of the official first season. Apparently, there's like they have class match seasons, and like there's like season 2 is going to be in like a month or two or something like that. And they have like rankings, like your average ranking is like how well you did in the seasons.
Shit.
We haven't even bothered paying attention to that. People on
Shit.
from like that are in the know about like the JP side of things, like they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like averaging top 50 or top 20, whatever. And it's like, I was at like rank 400 at my worst. And, that's obviously gonna tank like my average, right? But
Damn. Now I'm
yeah,
like, oh man, I wish I never missed top 100 then, because
yeah,
if I'm
right,
not in the top 100 because of one bad performance, oh god, oh
yeah.
god, be horrible.
It's gonna be real. It's probably gonna happen. But you know, what are you gonna do?
Bitch about it. What you mean?
Write
What
a
am I
Reddit
gonna do?
post.
Yeah, right. Write a Reddit post exactly.
And those are my final thoughts, not yours, as my local radio host used to say.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I have no thoughts beyond that other than yay, Ice VCs, and I hope I can get Velric up there so I can talk more about him. Let you know how all those VCs do together. But yeah, until then, I've been Zach Bro,
I've been Dan Bloom.
And I've been luck.
and we'll see you next time.